Good morning once again. Today, our lesson is all about solving problems involving partitive proportion in different contexts, such as distance, rate, and time, using appropriate strategies and tools. This is lesson number 4 for the second quarter, week 1. In this lesson, you're expected to solve problems involving partitive proportion in different contexts, such as distance, rate, and time, using appropriate strategies and tools. To start the day, I want you to answer first this 5-item test. Write your answer in your math notebook. Directions: read and analyze each item and answer what is asked for. Choose the letter of the correct answer. Number 1. Partition 20 in the ratio 2:3. A. 8 and 12. B. 6 and 14. C. 12 and 8. D. 14 and 6. Write your answer now. Time is up. The correct answer is letter A. Number 2. Divide 84 in the ratio 2:5. A. 34 and 30. B. 24 and 60. C. 30 and 34. D. 60 and 20. Write your answer now. Time is up. The correct answer is letter B. Number 3. If 100 is divided in the ratio 2:3:5. First question, what is the smaller number? A. 10. B. 20. C. 30. D. 40. Write your answer now. Time is up. The correct answer is letter B. Question number 2. What is the middle number? A. 50. B. 40. C. 30. D. 20. Write your answer. Time is up. The correct answer is letter C. And the third question. What is the larger number? A. 20. B. 30. C. 40. D. 50. Write your answer now. Time is up. The correct answer is letter D. Let us recall our past lesson. Do you still remember? What is a direct proportion? How do we solve a direct proportion? A proportion is said to be direct if as one term increases, the other term increases at the same rate or vice versa. To solve a direct proportion, we follow the following steps. First, set up the proportion either in column form or in fraction form. See to it that the order of the first equation must correspond to the order in the second equation. Then multiply the means and multiply the extremes, and divide both products by the numerical coefficient. Together, let us solve this problem. Jake can walk 15 kilometers in 1.5 hours. How far can he walk in 3 hours? First, let us set up the proportion or the equation. We have 15:1.5 as D is to 3. Let us use D for the missing number. Then, multiply the means and multiply the extremes. So we have 1.5 times D, then 15 times 3. 1.5 times D equals 1.5D, and 15 times 3 equals 45. Next, divide both sides of the equation by the numerical coefficient. So we have 1.5D divided by 1.5, then 45 divided by 1.5. So the value of D is 30. Therefore, Jake can walk 30 kilometers. Let me ask you these questions before we proceed to our lesson. What did you give to your mom or dad on her or his last birthday? How did they show their appreciation? How about you? How will you show your appreciation to your parents after giving all the unconditional love and materials you need? Each one of us have different ways to show our love and care to our parents. With the simplest item or thing that you made, it expresses an incredible amount of love and appreciation to your parents. Sharing, helping, giving gifts, and being a good son or daughter are some ways to show that you appreciated what your parents are doing for you. To start the lesson, study the problem. 3 siblings, Mona, Ivana, and Shaira, are planning to buy a gift for their mother's birthday. They have decided to share the expenses in the ratio 2:3:4 respectively. If the gift costs 540 pesos, how much is the share of each? Again, let us use the 4-step plan to solve the problem. So the first step is understand. To understand the problem, you need to identify what is asked in the problem and what are the given facts. Based on the problem that I presented, what is asked is the amount to be shared by each girl in order to buy a gift for their mother's birthday. And the given facts are the ratio of girls' share is 2:3:4 and the cost of the gift is 540 pesos. The next step is to make a plan. Your plan includes the operations to be used and the number sentence or the equation. Addition, division, and multiplication are the operations to be used to solve the problem. And to write the number sentence, let n be the missing number. So our equation now is 2n:3n:4n equals 540. The third step is to solve the problem. In order to solve the problem, we have the following steps. First, set up the proportion or the equation. Represent the missing number by n. So our equation now is 2n:3n:4n equals 540. Next, add the terms in the ratio. So 2n plus 3n plus 4n equals 9n equals to 540. Then divide both equations by the numerical coefficient. 9n divided by 9 and 540 divided by 9. So n is equal to 60. The next step is to multiply the value of n to each term in the ratio. The value of n is 60. Going back to our equation, 2n:3n:4n equals 540. Multiply 2 times 60 equals 120. 3 times 60 equals 180. 4 times 60 equals 240. So, in order to buy a gift for their mother's birthday, Mona's share is 120 pesos, Ivana's share is 180 pesos, and Shaira's share is 240 pesos. To check if the answer is correct, always consider the last step. Look back, evaluate, or review. So let us add the share of each girl. Mona's share is 120 pesos, plus Ivana's share 180 pesos, plus Shaira's share is 240 pesos. It is equal to 540 pesos, which is also the cost of the gift. This type of problem is a partitive proportion. In a partitive proportion, a whole quantity is divided into parts proportional to the given ratio. This time, I want you to reflect and answer these questions. How do you show your love and care to your family? How about to other people? Write 3 to 5 sentences in your math notebook. Let us have another example. 3 salesmen sold washable face masks in the ratio of 2:5:7. Together, they sold 504. How many face masks did each salesman sell? The problem asks the number of face masks each salesman sold. And the given information are the ratio of the face masks sold 2:5:7 and the total number of face masks sold 504. To write the equation, let n be the missing number. So the equation now is 2n:5n:7n equals 504. To solve the problem, first, add the terms in the ratio. So adding 2n plus 5n plus 7n, it gives us 14n, which is equal to 504. Then divide both sides of the equation by the numerical coefficient. So 14n divided by 14 and 504 divided by 14, n is equal to 36. Then multiply the value of n to each term in the ratio. So 2 times 36 equals 72, 5 times 36 equals 180, and 7 times 36 equals 252. The answer now is, the first salesman sold 72 face masks, the second salesman sold 180 face masks, and the third salesman sold 252 face masks. To check the answer, add 72 plus 180 plus 252. The sum is equal to 504, which is the total number of face masks sold. It's time to answer now the 3 activities. Write your answers in your math notebook, and checking of answers will be done after our discussion. The first activity is practice. Directions: partition each quantity into the specified ratio. Ready? Begin. The next is keep practicing. Directions: analyze and solve each problem. Go. And the third activity is test yourself. Directions: read each item carefully and answer what is asked for. Start. Can you tell us now how do we set up a partitive proportion? What operations are involved? How do we solve problems involving partitive proportion? We have to remember the following. To set up a partitive proportion, the identified parts of the whole quantity should be based on the given ratio of the parts indicated in the problem. The operations involved in solving partitive proportion are addition, division, and multiplication. Use the 4-step plan in solving problems involving partitive proportion. We have to understand the problem, make a plan, solve, and look back or evaluate. The following are the steps in solving the missing number. First, set the proportion, then add the terms in the ratio, divide the whole quantity by the sum, and multiply the quotient to each term in the given ratio. Let us move on to the last activity. Write your answer in your math notebook. Directions: choose the letter of the best answer. Number 1. If 90 kilometers is divided in the ratio 1:2:3, what is the shortest distance? A. 18 kilometers, B. 17 kilometers, C. 16 kilometers, D. 15 kilometers. Write your answer now. Time is up. The correct answer is letter D. Number 2. The weight of Jose and Arturo is in the ratio of 3:4. Together, they weigh 105 kilograms. How heavy is Jose? A. 45 kilograms, B. 55 kilograms, C. 60 kilograms, D. 65 kilograms. Write your answer now. Time is up. The correct answer is letter A. Number 3. The ratio of Alona, Shiley, and Liza's time in studying their lessons was 2:3:4. Together, they spent 81 minutes. How many minutes did Shiley study her lessons? A. 18 minutes, B. 27 minutes, C. 36 minutes, D. 40 minutes. Write your answer now. Time is up. The correct answer is letter B. Number 4. A string 120 centimeters long is divided into 3 parts in the ratio of 4:3:5. What is the measure of the longest piece? A. 40 centimeters, B. 50 centimeters, C. 55 centimeters, D. 60 centimeters. Write your answer now. Time is up. The correct answer is letter B. And the last, number 5. The daily sales of 2 fruit vendors are in the ratio of 7:8. Find the daily sales of each vendor if they sell 750 fruits together. A. 350 and 400, B. 300 and 450, C. 400 and 350, D. 450 and 300. Write your answer now. Time is up. The correct answer is letter A. This ends our discussion. See you next meeting and God bless.